Welcome to the Black Men Think podcast. If this is your first time here, know that the views and opinions expressed by the Black Men Think podcast are those of the Black Men Think podcast and not the individual members. With that being said, we're about to be unapologetically, undeniably black. Enjoy.
With all that being said, welcome to the Black Man Think podcast. If you're on Patreon right now, you're watching on YouTube, you caught a long story of us talking about a lot of things. If you want that, what you can do is go ahead and join Patreon. You'll be able to get the bonus content, and you also see us live when we actually record these episodes. As you can tell, today we are doing a different format. We're not even different. This is like the old format when we were not in person. Yeah, the original. So we had to go back to that. We're in Atlanta, Metro Atlanta, and we're having some bad weather, and we were not able to get in person. But Mo said, like, bro, let's hop on virtual, and like here we are. So we here. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, rate, comment, do all of those things. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Boom, we're here. So how you doing, bro? Let's go. Let's start there. Homeboy check in.
I'm straight, bro. I'm straight, man. You know, just looking forward to the weekend. Rise up.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Rise up, man. You know.
For those that don't know, this is Hate Week.
It's Hate Week.
What Hate Week is, if you are a Falcons fan, this is when we play the New Orleans Saints. This is also the only time where anybody from Atlanta will tell you that they can't stand New Orleans, and vice versa, because we are two cities that absolutely love each other outside of football. It's like outside of football, bro, New Orleans and Atlanta like go hand in hand. We love the culture, they love our culture, but when football season comes, we can't rock with them. And Georgia, I'm wondering if Georgia gonna play Saturday. You think so?
Yeah. Actually, where's the game? Game is it at home?
I think they're at home. They're at home.
Yeah, that might be that's a good question. We should be okay. I mean, I there's a high school game that I was supposed to see in town. I mean, I guess it all depends on the damage, honestly.
No, they actually playing in Alabama, so they should be good. But I mean, Alabama, like the damage of the storm is really going more east. So okay, Alabama should be good. Yeah. But I don't know, like with Georgia State and Southern, I don't know. That might be questionable on Saturday. Just with the field conditions, I don't know. Who knows, man?
Yeah, we'll see what the damage do. I've seen a high school game scheduled Friday get rescheduled for Saturday already. But I guess it's just going to depend on what it looked like out there. But yeah, man, big weekend. It's a hate game with Alabama. It's a hate game with the Saints, and it's gonna be a Georgia winning weekend. Is all I know.
Yeah, man, I'm with it, and I hope my Braves figure out a way to get into the playoffs. And so we try to, it's all that. It's gonna be tough, bro. There's a shot, but we got to do what we need to do. We got 5 games left, and if we win, there's an opportunity. Of course, if we win out, it's cool. If we win like 3 or 4 of those games, we in. But there's an opportunity where we can win 3 out of 5 and still be in. But it depends on everybody else. At the end of the day, you got to win to get in. As a wild card team. But yeah, bro.
What about yourself?
It's been cool, bro. It's been cool. I haven't had like any craziness. Has been real relaxing outside of these kids being out of school, because here's the thing about living in Georgia. I know, because we got listeners all over. Here's the thing about living in Georgia. They will tell the kids to not go to school for just about anything. Bruh, when I tell you on Wednesday, we got a notification that, hey, early dismissal. If y'all want to pick y'all kids up early, you can. No penalizing, no nothing. As a matter of fact, we're trying to get everybody out. There's no aftercare. There's no so pick Jade up at the same time I get Noel like 2:30. You know what I'm saying? Like early. You know what I'm saying? And before I can get home, good, another email goes out. Hey, due to inclement weather, no school on Thursday and Friday. Bruh. Now, who has been out in these streets all day today on Thursday? This guy. Fam, we could have went to school today.
School, dog. Like
we could have went to school.
Like
today.
you do trickling all day, dog. Like,
bruh.
And the crazy thing is, that's what the forecast said. Like, if you're paying attention to it, the kids could have gone to school today.
I understand tomorrow. Tomorrow is kind of like, but
there.
Man. And okay, for our audience, our thinkers who have kids, because I know a lot of y'all have kids, you understand what it's like when you have a week or a day planned out, and then all of a sudden kids are out of school. It does something. It does something, bro.
Yeah.
Like, man. Something like today, bro. Like, okay, here was the agenda for today before I found out the kids were gonna be out of school. Wifey had a 10 o'clock doctor's appointment. So the plan was drop the kids off at school. Me and wifey were just gonna go ahead and go to the doctor's appointment, drop her off. Excuse me. I go and do maybe go and do a location in the area, go shopping in the area, and then come pick her back up. And then boom, we go and finish our duties. Probably would have been home at about 12. Now, when your kids are with you, what do you have to deal with? Okay, now all of a sudden, kids are here. So now everybody at 10 o'clock when wifey has an appointment, now everybody all of a sudden, they hungry again like they didn't eat breakfast. Because they're used to having a 10 o'clock snack at school. Now we got to figure out food at 10 when I'm just trying to go to Kroger and just do a quick shopping. I'm trying to pick up something quick, go to the bank. Now we got to do all of these things, then come back from all of that, pick up wifey from the appointment. Now we got to go to another location, finish that location. And now all of a sudden it's lunchtime. The difference is if it's lunchtime for me and wifey, we can thug it out. We cool. We get a snack, eat an apple. We good. Now we got a whole food situation, bro. This is a whole hour. So where we would have been done at 12, now we getting home at like 3 o'clock. And I'm just like, I'm not doing anything else. Like I'm done. I'm done for the day. And now we into the whole, into the routine of winding down for the day or whatever. All that to say, them kids could have went to school today.
School. It's crazy. I had a 3-hour meeting scheduled. 3-hour meeting scheduled that was supposed to be in person with just a lot of leaders in the organization. We all on virtual, and CEO was just like, man, hey, where the kids? Go ahead and put the kids on camera. Everybody just put the kids on the cameras. I know they're around or something. We calling them. Everybody putting their kids on. And yet we still did that 3-hour meeting. And I'm sitting here
3
like,
hours.
Dude, bro, that's a whole nother podcast episode.
Yeah. We get to another time, bro. We get to another time.
But it could have been there, bro.
So what you want to talk about tonight, bro? What we talking about?
You know what? I think the last time we were on, we were about to draft. So we need to do an update real quick for the people.
Okay.
So what's crazy is we talked about that drafting on fantasy.
Okay.
Football. And then you and I had number 1 and number 2 pick.
I just want to go on record and say both Marlon and I are 0-3 in our fantasy league right now. 3 weeks gone by, we are trash.
Bro.
I want to let you know that Marlon chose CeeDee Lamb, unconventional number 1 pick. Nobody saw CeeDee Lamb getting picked number 1. Smart move for him. Who did I pick? Christian McCaffrey, who is not. He's on IR. I had Bijan Robinson right there. I could have took him, but I was like, you know what? I feel like the Falcons he's going to be overworked, and eventually there's going to be burnout around week 7, week 8. That's my thought process with him. So I was like, do I want to draft him? Yes. However, Christian McCaffrey McCaffrey, like that's a surefire pick. I didn't know that they were undisclosing information about injuries. You know what I'm saying? Like a calf,
Taking it to the game, bro. Like,
bro.
wild.
So we both trash right now. We trying to figure it out.
We are, and I'm trying to figure out why I'm so trash. I feel like every week, whatever team I'm up against, they give me their best work.
Bro,
Like, it's
same.
wild. Like even if I look at the amount of points scored on me across the league,
Mhm.
I'm gonna say I'm blowing everybody out in that category. And it's just I'm in the fours. Like, this don't make no sense.
Yeah.
Like, ain't nobody except for one other team, Brandon, has had a team score 400 plus points on them. So it just, for me, it's been a slow start. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be all right long term though.
Yeah.
CD's waking up. You
Yeah,
know,
he having a game tonight. He having a game.
yeah, he balled tonight. He balled decently last week. They ain't got their rhythm. Him and Dak ain't got their rhythm yet. They gonna get there. My quarterback, bro. I chose Anthony Richardson.
Mm. Did you drop him yet, or he just on the bench for you?
I'm gonna let it. Y'all can have him. I
Yeah.
don't want no parts.
I don't know, bro. And here's the thing, too, though. This year, the QB situation has been so crazy.
Yep.
I picked up Sam Darnold off of waivers, and he is the number 4 quarterback right now.
Crazy.
My quarterback room is crazy, and the 2 top quarterbacks, because I got 4 quarterbacks right now, and I'm telling you right now, I only have 4 quarterbacks because I plan on moving 1 to 2 of them in a trade to try to get something else. So somebody's gonna be hurt for a quarterback eventually, bro. Derek Carr and Sam Darnold are top 10 quarterbacks in this league. Tell me how. Doesn't make sense. I got both of them, but unfortunately, every time I start one, that's they flop game.
Yep.
Derek Carr, number 4 quarterback in the league. First 2 weeks, third week, flop and go for like 6 points.
Yep.
Come on, man. So that's all that to say, bro. We trash right now. Thankfully, in our league, we got 12 people, and the league is set up where all 12 make the playoffs. So we can go 0-16 or 0-15 and turn it on at the right time, and we'll be all right. So it's cool. Cool. We'll figure it out, though. I'm still calling me and Mo in the championship.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's a foregone conclusion. I mean, it's just going to be what it's going to be. So, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Hey, you dropped a video earlier this week. I think we need to address it. I think we need to talk about it.
I mean, I'm cool, bro.
Give us a synopsis.
So, if y'all followed us on IG, hopefully y'all are. If not, go ahead and do that now. But, Fridays for me is usually my me time, right? That's the one day wifey at work, kids at school. So it's like just me by myself up until, about 1:00, right? When I had to go and pick up my daughter from school. So I usually, try to play golf or do something. And so this past Friday, I played golf. New course, never played at this course. Mind you, this course is in a predominantly white neighborhood. I'll just say that. It's in the Howell Mill area, but this is a predominantly white neighborhood. I'll give you that. And so it's a walkable course. Par 3 course, meaning that I'm walking, I'm not in the cart, I'm walking with my bag, right? And so I'm just playing, having a decent day, and I'm playing, and I get up to the green, and I see this dog like barking. And, like I said, I'm not afraid of a dog or anything like that, bro. So like, okay, it's just a dog, not tripping. Then the dog proceeds to run toward me. Now, here's the thing. Well, the apartments, because there are some apartments adjacent to the golf course. Where the apartments are and where I'm at is probably, like, no exaggeration, maybe 70, 80 feet. Like there's real distance between, where we are. It's like I can see him, but there's real distance. And so the dog is charging me, small dog, like a Pomeranian or whatever. And so I'm chilling. I'm like, all right, whatever, cool. This dog can come up. I got golf clubs. I'm not scared of dogs. I'm good to go. So the dog come up to me, probably get about 5 feet away from me, still barking aggressively. And I'm looking for the owner at this point. And I look up, the owner is still on his like back porch. And he's just looking at the dog, right? And I'm like, okay, this is weird. And eventually he starts like, calls the name of the dog. But he does it kind of like very pleasant and casual, like, oh, come on, come back, stop, come back. And the dog is still barking, and like the dog is kind of barking and like, kind of daring, like jumping at me or whatever. I pulled my golf club out at this point. I got my putter. I pulled my golf, and I kind of like pull it out as in, all right now. You know what I'm saying? And I guess at this point, this when the owner was like, all right, this is getting kind of serious. So, bro, like comes toward me. And mind you, like when I say 70 feet away, Mo, I'm not exaggerating. Like this is not a
I can see the dog just running across the eighth hole right now. Just
that's what I'm saying. Like it's not like the dog is close. Like, well, at the point the dog is close now, but it's not like the owner is close. So like, and he's walking over, right? And so walk over, finally get up to the dog, call the dog finally responds and walk off. And me, I'm just sitting there kind of waiting, like, all right, fam, are you gonna like say something? Not only does this dude not acknowledge my presence, bro, he doesn't say, I'm sorry for my dog. He doesn't like it's like I'm not even there. He didn't see me. Now, a part of what I left out of the story that I didn't put on IG was that the dog bypassed the white gentleman who was right there playing golf as well and came right
I
to
didn't hear
me.
that part. I didn't hear that part. That's crazy.
No, I didn't say that part. I'm telling it
That's
on the
fine.
podcast.
Okay.
So this is why I really came to the conclusion that not only is his dog racist, but so is the owner. Because the dog clearly was familiar with my other counterpart playing golf.
Right. Correct.
He wasn't threatening to that dog. That dog went past this guy
The dog found you, bro.
and went right toward me. And so that's when I was like, hold on, something's not right, bro. Come on now. I know I'm not tripping. This, good storytelling, whatever, but I know I'm not tripping. This dog passed this white gentleman to come directly to me. And the owner of the dog proved what I thought by not acknowledging my presence, bro. A simple sorry to me would have been like sufficient. It's like, oh, I'm sorry for he's having a bad day. Cool. You wouldn't even see me put anything on IG. I wouldn't even send that to the group chat.
All I know is you should have pulled out that iron and sent that dog 260 yards. To me, that for me, that would have been full justification. This dog that passed the white man came and barked at me to the point, and then you got an owner over here just watching, like being entertained.
Bruh, man.
You should have sent him all right back on over there, just form and everything.
The word entertain is triggering. Because when I tell you, now I'll shoot the owner a little bit of bail. He was hollering at the dog. Like once he saw me with the golf club, he was visibly frustrated with his dog.
I can't. I'm about to push back on that, bro.
No. Go ahead.
I just say it took to the point where you pulled the club for him to show frustration.
Facts.
For me,
I got you.
That's triggering for me because I'm like, this is your dog. You've watched your dog come all the way across, leave your property, enter the fairway, travel 70, 80 yards to me. And at the point where I decide to defend myself, then you decide to step in and say something.
Yeah.
No,
I feel you. It was a frustrating situation, bro, because it was, you know how it is, man. Like we live in a time and world where in Atlanta we don't see racism.
Yeah.
Like we don't, right? And this is gonna turn
Not
a little
enough.
bit.
Not enough to be like this black city right here. This
Yeah, we
black
don't
man.
we
This is
don't see
coming.
it, bro. We don't see it. Now there are some
Yeah.
places outside of the metro area that is in your face. Like once you get further north past Cherokee County, yeah, it's in your face, which I can
Yeah.
also respect as well. Like I respect in your face racism. Like
Yeah.
when you let me know that, like, hey, it ain't that I don't like you, it's that I just been raised this way and it is what it is, and I'm not changing. I actually respect that more than like the passive aggressive racism. Like when you are on some like, all right, boy, it is, I don't agree with it, but I understand it because you're like, you're not looking to change and you're kind of like, I'm stuck in my ways and it is what it is, and we can go from there. But this dude, bro, this dude act like I wasn't there. Like when I tell you, bro, the way he walked and got his dog,
Yeah.
it was on some like, I told you about showing out like that. You know what I'm
I know.
saying? It was
I
on
know.
some like,
I know
not
that.
like this. You feel me? It was clear that that dog wasn't used to seeing black people. Like I know that for a fact, bro. Like you can't.
That
It's
dog
gonna be
was
some
you.
people who probably try to come for us and be like on some like, man, no, you overreacting, bro. The way this dog, for no reason, like you got to understand, Mo. This is how I can give some clarity for you. Your house, right?
Yeah.
Where your house is, if you're in your backyard to your neighbor's fence,
Yep.
like on the hill
Yep.
to your neighbor, like there's no reason for the dog to come down to me. Like we're too far. Like there's no threat. There's no threat if you're that far, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like it doesn't make sense. And on another thing, what the hell your leash at?
Now, here's the thing. Like, let's give the dog benefit of the doubts, right? Like I've seen dogs just. I see somebody, I'm going after them, right?
Yeah,
Now the
yeah.
whole part about skipping over the white man and coming to you,
That's something else.
that right there is interesting.
Yeah.
But let's say the white man wasn't on the fairway. I've seen dogs come all the way from all the way across the way to come cause conflict with me,
Mhm.
and sometimes that's just dog nature. They especially little dogs, they got little dog complex.
Mhm.
They want to prove themselves in a moment. They want to be tough. Low key, I done got bitten by a dog like that, like some little scruffy
Right.
chihuahua. I'm with piss me off. Like dog looking at him, I'm like, man, what you gonna do? Like he just
Right,
like
right,
kind of
right, right, right.
stealthily, but he not getting close to me. As soon as I turn my head and start walking away, because I'm like, man, this dog not gonna do nothing. He just, I feel a bite on my heel. Dog
Yeah.
actually bit me. I could have punted the
Man.
dog. I could have sent him 30 yards. I'm trying to tell you.
Mhm.
But dogs sometimes will show out, right?
Yeah.
It's the fact that the owner allowed him to go that far
Mm.
until you show that you were willing to retaliate, that he
Right.
spoke up. It didn't have nothing to do with you. He didn't want his dog hurt. He wasn't thinking about you. He
Dang.
wasn't thinking about the inconvenience. He wasn't thinking about the fact that his dog, left his property, came onto
Mm.
public property or private property, whatever it is, not his property at the end of the day, and
Mhm.
is harassing you, obviously in an animal way. And people love their
Right.
dogs. Sometimes people feel like their dogs ain't gonna do nothing. People feel like everybody want to touch their dog. I'm not from that. I don't rock with that. Like, get your dog, bro.
Get your
I didn't ask
dog.
to see your dog. I didn't ask to talk to your dog. I don't like your dog. I don't have to like your dog. Get your dog.
Exactly.
Period. So
Yeah, bro. No, I mean, talking it out with you, like honestly, you're right. You're right. It is what it is, bro. It is what it is. But
that sucks. That sucks, bro. And I'm
yeah.
sorry, like we say that too much. We say it is what it is too much, you
Hmm.
know. Um, and sadly, and it's not even your fault, like, but we are in positions where we have to accommodate. because had you punted that dog 230 yards with that club, you would have been at fault.
I would have been at fault. Facts. Kicked off the golf course.
Yep.
Kicked off the golf course. Probably would have had charges.
Mm-hmm. Or a lawsuit, at least at the minimum, a lawsuit.
Lawsuit. I would have been negligent to a animal. You know, all kind of stuff. Like I know it would have came through. Yeah. No, I feel you, bro. And that's the part too, about being apologetic for no reason.
Yeah.
Like that is, excuse me, that is a part of our, how can I say it? I don't want to use the word identity.
Yeah.
But what I will say is it's just it's been interwoven into our fabric, bro, to where we feel the need to apologize for they BS. And it's tough, and it's going to be hard to kind of break through, but we have to get into that place of like, at this time, bro, you need to be responsible for what you did. I don't need to give you an out. You need to apologize for your behavior. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like our big thing in our household, bro, is like when our kids start to act out and get like super emotional or like start to lash out, we stop everything and say like, yo, you are responsible for how you react to anything. It's on you. You can choose in this moment to be upset. You can choose in this moment to like lash out. You can choose in this moment to throw things, but at the end of the day, it's your choice. And you are responsible for your choices. Right? Like we try to really help them understand that, because bro, you can't give everybody that energy of making you super upset, and now how you feel about a situation, you go downhill, right? And so like we try to get them to understand it, because they 5 and soon to be 7, and they sisters, they always button heads. But like, hey, remember, you're choosing to be upset right now. You could choose a different emotion.
That's facts.
Yeah, man. All right, here we go. Ask a black man. Got a question.
What's up? Talk to us.
What's one thing you wish you had learned earlier about managing your finances?
What's so crazy is before you even finish the question, you said, what's one thing you wish you had learned earlier? I was already thinking like the mixture of investments and real estate.
Yeah.
Like I wish that information, and granted, we are living in a time where that information is becoming available in our communities and is being passed down by us.
Yeah.
As we were coming up, that information was not yet prevalent in our spaces.
Right.
And I wish it was, man, because I think I would have grabbed on to an interest probably at a young age, honestly. Like I probably would have, that probably would have been something that that kind of sparked interest in me even as a teenager. Or even like I wish it was in my family, And granted, like I was chilling with my cousin and my aunt the other day. I took my kiddos to see my aunt because it's been years really since they've seen her. Like pandemic kind of like we got off of our routines. Our family didn't stop getting together as a whole. Clusters of pieces of us would get together in different parts of the city and outside the city. But it's like she was like, "Man, I haven't even met your youngest yet." I was like, "I'm coming. Like I'm bringing them over." And my cousin pulled up, so we sat there and talked for a while. And just I wish my parents were aware at an earlier age, so that the decisions that they made would impact the decisions that I make, would impact the decisions, and so on and so forth, right? And so I feel like even though the knowledge is entering our spaces at this point in life, 40,
Mhm.
it's later than I would have wished,
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm right there with you, bro. Like it's two phases of it. I definitely like when me, Corey, and Ace moved out of the village and moved into the townhouse, we should have bought a townhouse instead of
That
renting.
right then and there, bro.
Like, and not even rent, not even buy a townhouse. We should have just bought a multi-unit.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's what we really should have did. Like,
Yep.
or not even we, one of us or me. I'm gonna put like I should have bought a multi-unit and said, Ace, you and Corey, y'all in this one, and I'm in this one. Y'all pay the rent. Like
Right.
that's just one of those things, bro, where but it comes along with that knowledge, right? Because I only have the examples that I grew up on. My example of real estate was my parents, like we grew up in an apartment complex. And when I got to middle school, my parents bought a house. That's the only example that I have of real estate, right? Now, the other example I have is like I shoot my uncle some bail. My uncle, like, always been a hustler. He would buy real estate and flip it, but it just wasn't explained to me.
Yeah.
Like, so what I saw with him, he'll go and buy like, he might buy like a house in Macon and probably buy like, pay 20,000 for it and then go and flip it and sell it for like 50 or something like that. But it wasn't explained to me the process, right? I just saw him do it. But the real example, I didn't have that information, bro. And like man, real estate is one of those ones where it's just it was so easy and it was right there because we grew up in a time where we hit that bubble when it burst,
Yeah.
and we really could have took advantage of. We was fresh out of college when it burst, and we could have really took advantage of it and just didn't. And even, I mean, me and my wife just look back on it. We think about when we moved out of the apartment complex, we could have bought a multi-unit and stayed, stayed in there for a year and then kind of did whatever after that. And so it's really those small things like that, especially real estate, because we know real estate is like one of the vehicles that really build generational wealth. That businesses and stock markets, like those are really the three things that's going to really build some generational wealth. And so I know for me, those things, just kind of realizing those things earlier and not having the mentality of I have time, like at 18, 19, bro, go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying? Especially during a time where you don't have a lot of real responsibilities. You don't have to worry about a kid or a wife. Like you are literally doing the small things.
And you got nine times out of ten, if you're I won't say nine times out of ten, a good majority of students that are in college, you have a fallback. You have a fallback. Like your parents
Right.
are still engaged. Something goes south, you probably have somewhere that you can go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
and it's a great opportunity to take a risk. It's a great age to take a risk, man. And I just wish, I mean, God knows, like
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
but at the end of the day, to answer the question is, if there was something different, something else that I could have done financially and wish that I had,
Hmm.
I wish I would have had the tools to navigate investments in real estate. I feel
Yeah.
like those two things, um, they do change generations. Like
Absolutely.
I, I would have been probably a multi-millionaire, if not more, had I made different decisions at
Just
this point.
easy though. Like and
Easy, bro.
not even really hard work, bro. Like
Yep.
it's just
Easy work.
a lot of it too. I mean, of course, it's always education, right? It's always education. But for me, I was taught go to college, get a good job, buy a home, be there for 30 years, pay it
Mhm.
off for 30 years. I didn't know anything about HELOCs. I didn't know anything about getting a multi-unit. Like I didn't know, I didn't know any of that information because it wasn't given to me. Like everything, and truth be told, Mo, like just as an additional piece, we also have to learn to not beat ourselves up because we are literally breaking those generational curses. Like our children would know about all of the things that we just learned. And that's the beauty of it, right? Like we are the quote unquote sacrificial lamb for our kids because the stuff that our parents just didn't teach us and didn't inform us about, our kids will know as teenagers. You know what I'm saying? Like our kids will understand the importance of doing those things now as opposed to finding out in your mid 20s mid 30s to early 40s. You know what I'm saying?
The beauty of it, and I'll share this, and like this will be the last story for me. Is just our kids moved out of our first rental property,
Mm-hmm.
and we just took them to see the next property that we acquired. You know,
No.
and it's like my oldest is 10, bro, and I just can't
Mhm.
imagine the impact that that will have on their overall understanding.
Yeah.
On just it don't have to be deep concepts. They don't have to get it now, but it's just the fact that they were exposed and that
Exposed. Exposure. Yeah.
they sit in a reality where like mom and dad showed me that, and now it's familiar. And now, when the opportunity arises, I'll recognize it as opposed to like,
Hmm.
oh man, all these houses going up for sale, blah blah blah. It's
Yeah.
like no, I see opportunity now,
Opportunity. There you go.
and it
That's the
just changed
word,
the
bro.
game.
That's the word, opportunity. I'll close with this. Just to piggyback on that, it's amazing the things that your kids see that you're doing and how much they pick up on it when you're not even thinking about it, right? As much as my kids complain about going to vending machine locations, they're starting to realize like, oh, dad, we go to the bank when we leave the vending machine locations. We're
Absolutely.
putting like they're seeing the small things of like, so you take this money out of these machines and then you're gonna put it in the bank and we use that money. Like they're starting to see those things where it's just like, uh, are these our machines, daddy? Yeah, these are our machines. And so their thought process, while it may be boring to them, they're able to see something attached to that. Like, oh, even bro, wifey, she got her podcast. And I was like, babe, when the kids school was canceled, I was like, babe, what if you just put the girls on the podcast? Like you talk about them, like everybody know about your kids. They don't know them by name or whatever, but they know that you have kids.
Yeah,
And bro, just to see how they reacted to being on the podcast,
that's
where
crazy.
like it was it was eye opening for me on this side because I'm behind the camera recording it. But like they're so alert. They're so like in storytelling mode. They're doing all of these things. They understand what it is and they understand the connection of that. And I'm just like, oh no, like they watching us, bro. Like they seeing everything that we're doing. And yes, they have their own identities and they're gonna figure out things on their own, but they're looking at us and finding avenues that we had to learn on our own. And that's the beauty of it. They're gonna have a head start.
It matters, man.
Yeah,
It
man.
matters. Head start, because guess what? Guess who had a head start? Those folks that sent that little dog to come chase you
That's a
on that
fact.
golf course. You
They
know,
had a head start. And whether we
they had
want
a
to
head start.
admit it or not, whether we want to look at it as an excuse, bro, I don't care what nobody say. Knowing what I know about real estate now, I just got my property taxes in the mail 2 weeks, like the other week. Knowing what I know now, bro, you can't tell me it's not a head start when you graduate high school and you have a property. You're not staying on campus. You're staying at the house that I got. Because we're moving out of this house. You're gonna
Mhm.
stay in this house, and mom and dad is gonna move to another house, and you're gonna have this house, and your roommates, you can rent this out to your roommates. Like this is all at 18. I'm handing you $180,000 house that's paid off, but you're making $1,200 a month just from rent from your two roommates. You can't tell me that's not a head start. Even if you decide to sell that house is now worth $300,000. And we don't even have to get into redlining. That's another conversation. But I'm just saying, bro, it's head starts to where the older I get, the more I realize, like, oh, this is why.
Yeah.
This is why things are able to happen, and there's progression in certain areas because they got it when we didn't. And now we're just playing catch up. I mean, it is what it is. Black Man Think podcast, man. We elevate our black men because black men be out here thinking. Make sure y'all subscribe to Patreon. If y'all want bonus content, we're recording this on YouTube live right now. So our Patreon audience is seeing this beforehand. You guys are getting it a couple of days later. Make sure you subscribe and get this bonus content. We're actually about to go to Patreon right now and talk some more talk. But if you want that episode, you gotta subscribe. That being said, we appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
The Black Men Think Podcast.